Guten Tag and good morning. Thanks for coming here, my German colleagues. My name is Benno. Today I'm going to give a presentation about understanding the banana Chinese implication for HR strategies for multinational corporations in mainland China. Speak of China, no one would deny that China has always been a very important strategic partner and market for international business companies. We can see from this graphic that so many foreign companies are now trying desperately to get penetrating into the Chinese emerging market. However, they would inevitably encounter the cultural problem at first. It is because the China is enjoying a totally different culture from that of the foreign countries. Therefore, the how to overcome the cultural problem become the first question the multinational corporations have to find answers for. However, many people would argue that if it's really so hard and difficult, why couldn't we just ignore the Chinese market and focus on other markets in the world? Well, is that really true? Let us have a closer look at this McKinsey company report. It is showing that the 2010 GDP for clusters Chinese cities and also some selected countries. We can see from the first column of this graphic that the single city Shanghai is sharing exactly the same amount of GDP as the wealthy country Switzerland. Oh really? A country and a city. They're almost the same GDP. So we should probably not just ignore the Chinese market. And then if we can just ignore them, how should we do it? This reminds me of my personal stories in Germany. I was specialized in consulting these Asia customer groups. It is partially because that the German managers had already got communication problems with the Asia groups, and they refused to ignore these rich Asia groups, so they chose to hire some Chinese managers to better serve the customers. Well, is that a good solution? Yes, certainly it is. Well, one solution the MNCs are now employing is to hire their international Chinese managers. They're supposed to have to share this same cultural background. They have a proficient mastery of English communication skills. They could understand the corporate culture better. They also have this effective communication and also strategic thinking and planning skills, which are very important for doing business like internationally. Well, this localization strategy has been practiced for so many years, and now I'm going to share you some data from year 2011. It shows that the Chinese managers in multinational corporations in China, there are already 76% of managers from China, and only 12 managers are from other countries. Another 10 is from Hong Kong and Taiwan, and 2 are from other countries like Japan or Singapore. Now let's break down this data into 2 international companies in China, one from Germany and another is from the USA. We can see from this graphic that the first red column indicates that the German or the US managers from other countries, they're from 10% to 40%. And from the second red column, we can see that the local Chinese senior or junior managers, they're from 50% to 70 or to 90%, sorry. From 50% to 90%. It's really a huge proportion. And these localization strategies, these local talent strategies have been practiced for so many years, and it is also very successful for multinational corporations. However, with the Chinese becoming more international and diversified, there arises another problems as for how to select the best and most appropriate Chinese candidates managers. Now I'm going to share 3 different Chinese stories with you guys. The first one is Song. He was born in Beijing but now grew up and live in Hamburg. He could merely understand Mandarin, and he always shared with me his unhappy working experiences in Beijing. The second one is Jason. He is mixed Chinese, born in Canada, and he's now working in China in Beijing. He had so many problems in working place and also in the social life. And third one is Frank, who's living now in London, Canada, and born in Beijing. Mandarin is his mother languages. The 3 Chinese could all be qualified candidate for managers. However, if we want to find someone who could better serve the Chinese mainland market, I personally think that Frank is more appropriate. And for the first, Song and Jason, There are the so-called banana generation, which I would explore later in a few slides. The banana generation, the origins is from the American comic book, The American-Born Chinese, describing the lifestyle and also the characteristics of the Chinese who were born and grew up in the USA. Later, we got an extension to describe all the Chinese who were born and grew up in foreign countries, especially in Western countries. We'll call them the banana generation, indicating that they have these yellow skins and yellow faces. However, they have this a very white nature and inside, just like the banana. Implication is that they're following the Western rules in business world, so they will have the same problems when working in China. Another application is that the banana generation is actually a casual word among these Chinese friends. So as a senior managers, you should probably just keep it in mind. As mentioned, for this banana generation, they could share so many differences from the mainland Chinese. Now I'm going to refer to a famous book in Germany, The Ost of the West, to describe the characteristics between the mainland Chinese and also the banana generation. The blue ones would indicate the characteristics in business world from the banana generation, and red one, the mainland Chinese. In terms of expressing opinions, sense of time, problem solving, interpersonal relationship, and also the boss hierarchy, the banana generation and the Chinese would have totally different working values towards such issues. Like for these expressed opinions, the Chinese would considering how to save the face and some prestigious thing, so they would express their opinions quite indirectly. However, the banana Chinese, they're following these Western rules, they would say what they want very directly. And if you wish to get more information about this experience or these differences regarding this banana Chinese and also this mainland Chinese, I highly recommend you to read the book Ost of the West from Liu Yang. All in all, they're different, although they're Chinese. So we should also apply diversified strategies for hiring and allocating them. So if it is of Hong Kong origins, it is better for them to serve the Hong Kong market. If it's like a banana generation, it is better for them to serve the Asian customers in local market. And if it is like of mainland Chinese origins, it is more appropriate to help them serve the mainland Chinese market. That is my presentation today, and thank you for your attention.